This is English 4, unit number 10, communication. In this video, we are going to talk about grammar. We're going to review the list of more, less, and fewer, with count and non-count nouns by teacher wvinueza. Objectives. First, we're going to practice the countable and uncountable nouns. Then we're going to use more, less, and fewer in some exercises. And finally, you're going to practice with your own ideas. So let's start. Nouns. In English, we have two big groups of nouns, the countable nouns and the uncountable nouns, or non-count nouns. The countable nouns are the nouns that can be counted. It means that you can say 1, 2, 3, 4. They can also be changed from singular to plural. And here we have some examples from boy, boys, from table, tables, from desk, desk, and child, the plural is children. When we talk about the uncountable nouns, we must remember that they can be counted, they can be changed from singular to plural, because they don't have a plural, and we have different types. We can have liquids like juice, milk, soda, oil, powder like flour, rice, sugar. The feelings are also uncountable like happiness, sadness, and love. Others like paper, time, money, and bread. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the uncountable nouns. Here we have more examples of countable nouns like burgers, cherries, sandwich, apples, and more examples of uncountable nouns, bread, meat, juice, and cereal. So, okay, what I want to explain now is about the uncountable nouns. Okay, remember that water is an uncountable noun, but if we say 1 bottle of water or 2 bottles of waters, we can count. So here, water by itself cannot be counted, but if we use a container like a bottle, you can count the bottle of waters. So notice here that we are not counting what is inside, but we count the container. Okay, that's with bottle. Talking about money, that is also a non-count noun. Money by itself is a non-count noun. But if we talk about the currency, like dollars, euros, yens, bolivares, pesos, any currency, you can count $20, 50 euros, 100 yens, 500 bolivares. So you can count when you have the currency, but the word money by itself cannot be counted. The same with the time, okay? Time cannot be counted by itself. What we count are the hours, the minutes, and seconds. So here in the example, we have 13 hours, 15 minutes, and 5 seconds. We can count times, plural, when we talk about repetition. For example, you can say, I go to the gym 5 times a week. In that case, times is not related to time or to a clock or to a watch. Okay? So time, when we talk about a clock or a watch, it's a non-count noun. Now we're going to review more, less, and fewer. With countable nouns, we can say, I get more calls than you do. Okay, so here we use more before the noun, more calls. Or you can say you get fewer calls than I do. So remember that in this unit we work with the comparative, so more is the word that we use to compare, and few is the adjective plus er, we get the comparative. So more calls and fewer calls. If we talk about uncountable nouns, I can say I spend more time on the phone. Time is the uncountable noun and more is the comparative. You spend less time on the phone. Time is the uncountable noun and less is the comparative. And finally, with verbs, we can say she talks more than he does. We're using more, and check that more goes after the verb. The verb here is talks, and we use more after. In the next example, he talks less than she does. Talks is the verb and less is the comparative. Remember also that the key word of comparative is done. In conversation, fewer is not very common. People use it more in writing. When you are talking to someone, you can use more or less. Practice. Complete the sentences with more, less, or fewer so they are true for you. Okay, so sentence number 1 says, my friends talk than I do. Sentence number 2, on the phone I listen than I talk. I send emails than text. Number 4, I spend time on social networking sites than my parents. And sentence number 5, I get emails than I did 2 years ago. So here you can stop the video and answer or complete these sentences with information that is true for you, using more, less, or fewer. So when you finish, you can continue and compare with my answers. Okay, so these sentences are true for me. My friends talk more than I do. I am a little bit shy, I think. On the phone, I listen less than I talk. So as I don't like talking, I prefer listening. Sentence number 3. I send less emails than text. That's because we can text using our cell phone, so we have our cell phone with us all the time. I spend more time on social networking sites than my parents. That's true because my parents are older than me and they are not accustomed to technology. So I spend more time on social networking sites than my parents. And sentence number 5. I get more emails than I did 2 years ago. Okay, this sentence is also true for me because now is that we depend more on technology, emails, and all the communication ways that we can have using the internet. Now you have to do a personal practice. Using your own ideas, compare your styles of communication with family, friends, and coworkers. Here you have some examples. I think my friends talk more than I do. I am pretty quiet. I talk more than all my friends. They say I never stop talking. Another example. I think my coworkers spend more time on social networks than I do. I get bored easily. My coworkers say that I'm boring because I don't like to spend that much time on social networks. So here, as you can see, we have in every example two different ways to say the same. But at the end, the idea is the same. So now the task for you is to practice comparing your styles of communication with family, friends, and coworkers. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Bye bye.